Great day, everyone. I am, if you're new to me, hello and welcome. If you are, returning Hawk Hustler, thanks for joining us today. My name is Jereshia Hawk. I'm an income strategist, and I teach coaches, consultants, and freelancers how to create and package their signature service and sell it consistently. And today I want to talk about something that I was at a church neighborhood group last night, and we were having some really just healthy conversations about like striving and like ambition and how to balance it. And the question was coming up of like, how do I balance this all as like this difference between striving and overly striving and being able to balance everything at the same time. Hi guys. Hey, Latasha. Hi, Kashira. Hi, Karma. As you guys pop in, say hey, just say hello. Today's been kind of a slow start to my day, but we were talking about just striving for our goals and being ambitious, and individuals were talking about like, I don't know how to find my balance. Like I keep feeling as if I'm like running and striving, and then I crash and I burn. And then after I crash and I burn, for some reason, I get up and I go do the exact same thing, and I keep having these repeat cycles of me like hustling and sprinting to get to the next thing, to achieve the next goal. But then I run into a wall and I crash and burn. And one of the young ladies asked me, like, how do you balance it all? How do you like juggle, and find balance as you're growing your business? And I was like, I think balance is bullshit. Like, I do not believe in the whole idea of like work-life balance. I don't believe that you'll ever find that perfect 50-50 balance in your life. And I know that's like counter-cultural. I think you see so many corporations and so many marketing messages about you need to find this work-life balance. And I don't believe that balance exists. I truly believe that it's not about achieving this harmonious state of balance, but more so understanding what your rhythm is in the season that you're in. I really believe that it's about, I think it's this dance and it's this beat, and like as music plays, the rhythm will change. As music plays, the beat, there's this beat to it at moments of the song. It's a really, really high, fast, intense beat. And at other parts of the song, it can be like slower and like have this different groove to it. And I believe our life is very similar. I believe as we're growing and building a business or just stepping into our higher purpose and our higher calling and striving for these goals, I think that it's very damaging to ourselves to put this pressure on us that we have to be in perfect balance. And I don't believe in it. I just really believe that it's not so much about how do I find this work-life balance or how do I find this balance as I'm growing my business, but more so how do I understand, how can I, one, be in tune with the season that I'm in and the beat of my drum right now, which it might mean like, I'd say for the last, when I was growing my business, the first like year to 2 years, like the first like 9 months of me like just side hustling, to the first year of actually growing my business, I was dedicating about 80 to 90% of myself, my free time, my personal time, my savings, my finances to investing in this business. All of my attention was on that. Like 80 to 90% of my attention was building this business. And then I would say 10 to 20% of my attention was on friends and family and my social life. And that was a season that I was in. Like it was this season of hustle and of grind. But I'd say in the past 9 months, in the past year, so going into the second year of my business, the season has changed, the rhythm has changed, the beat has changed. And my life balance, my work-life balance, that rhythm is changing, right? Like I am, I'd say I'm probably like 70-30 right now, like 70% focused on business. 30% has been really dedicated to like my personal life and my family, but it has these ebbs and flows. And I hope that makes sense or maybe resonates. Because I think especially as women, we are always striving for this perfection and balance. And a lot of individuals, I know will say to me like, Jay, I can't make this decision or make this pivot or make this choice to go do this thing until I have balance, until like you're waiting for this balance to arrive before you will maybe take that risk or make that step or, invest in yourself or test out that new idea or launch that podcast or do the Facebook Live or start your business or actually invite people to work with you and pay you for the work that you do. So many of us are waiting for when life calms down, when I get out of school, when I get this raise. Like we're waiting for this win, because I think a lot of us are believing that when X happens, we'll have more balance and have more time and be able to then go do the thing we've been called to do. And I just believe that most of the time, a lot of us are using those things as excuses, because it's a lot easier to blame a busy whatever. It's a lot easier to go blame or put an excuse on, well, I have to wait until January to actually start working out because the holidays are coming up. I can't actually eat good. Like Thanksgiving is coming, Halloween is coming, Christmas is coming, New Year's is coming. I'll wait until January because my life will be more in balance, because 2019 I'll have a new zen about me, and then I'll be able to start that business or to get on that diet or to be more intentional about my health. Like we're always waiting for when the balance comes. And I just think a lot of us are doing ourselves and the thing that we've been called to do a disservice when we're waiting for that. So I don't think it'll ever happen. I think that just in life, we will move through life and move through these, they're just seasons. They are just seasons. And I think just like in traditional seasons, like, you may be in a season of like hibernation. You may be in a season of this creation. You may be in a season of where it's like cold and maybe gloomy and dark and you feel like you're alone. I think that's what it feels like when you're growing a business, especially in the beginning. Like it can feel like this heavy thing. It can feel like you're just like, you feel this darkness and this pressure, and you feel alone and isolated a lot of the time. And I feel that's similar to like wintertime in Detroit. It's freezing and you have to like wear multiple layers and be bundled up and like have all these things on, but that season will change. Winter does not last forever. In Detroit, it does last a long time, but it doesn't last forever. Your season will change in the way that you show up, in the ebb and flow of how you operate. It will adjust and shift. And I think on the other end, so I think one is like you really need to understand the season that you're in and make sure that you're properly clothed, right? Like you're wearing the right things that you need to wear to get you through that season, that patience, the grace. Maybe you need to put on more armor and like put on more stuff in this season. But understand like it's okay to be imbalanced. Like it's okay that like everything may not be lined up perfectly in this season. Like that is okay. Like I think that is normal. I think it's just if we can do a better job of one, recognizing the season that we're in, and two, just honoring what our capacity is and what our bandwidth is in that season, we can better operate and like move through those seasons to whatever that next level is. And I just think that a lot of the time we don't do that. We try to keep pleasing everybody else. We try to keep saying yes to everybody else without honoring our yes. Like maybe we need to say no to certain invitations or say no and honor our boundaries and be more diligent on pouring back into ourselves in this season. Like whatever your season is, just give yourself what you need. You know what you need and you know what you need to be doing. But I just think a lot of the time we don't honor it and don't respect it. Or we're striving for this like perfection and balance. And I don't believe that it exists. So I think on the other end of that is understanding that as you're going through your seasons, like I said, it will adjust, but as you transition into your new season, make sure that you're not carrying the weight and carrying the baggage of your old season into your new season. And what I mean by that, like think about like wintertime and you're transitioning in the summer. In the wintertime, you have hat on, gloves on, scarf on, coat on, like boots on. And sometimes like your winter season will be over and like the summer season will come. It's sunny and shining and like you're blossoming and you're in this season of growth, but you're carrying all this extra weight and all this extra luggage from one season to the next that you don't even know how to receive this new abundance that has come your way. And because you're still like, and I think I did a post the other day about this, about how you hit these inner ceilings as you're growing in your business, and you hit these inner ceilings about like what's possible and what's attainable and what's achievable. And sometimes as you're growing, self-sabotage will kick in because you don't even know how to receive the new abundance from the new season. So I think a lot of the time we can get stuck into like, I don't know, a past season or like what we were going through prior to, that we don't know how to prune the weeds and trim the tree so we can step into this new season like and have space to actually receive whatever abundance just came our way. I hope I'm making sense to somebody out there. This is just what's on my heart. But so yeah, that's just what I really think it's about. And I do believe that you have to understand, not only just recognize what season that you're in, but also recognize that some seasons are not sustainable. And that you need to be able to identify when you need to adjust that rhythm and adjust that beat as you're evolving and growing. So the first, like 9 months of my, like when I was side hustling and just trying to figure out what I was doing, probably up until like now in my business, I'd say this year, over the past 9 months, it's been a very, very tough lesson to learn. But this is where the shift started to change. Like I was on straight hustle mode up until this point. Like Jay was straight grinding. Okay. Like, and maybe you guys can relate where you are just sacrificing a lot of your short term. I think maybe you're sacrificing a lot of these short term benefits and short term gain for your long term success. Sacrificing your social life, sacrificing free time, sacrificing budgeting and how you're spending your finances. Like you're doing all this sacrificing in the very, very beginning. Like I remember, like I would sacrifice sleep a lot. Like I would stay up until 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m. every day, and then get up and go to my 9-to-5 job at 6 a.m. in the morning the next day. Because I was really sacrificing and like on this hustle, team grind, team no sleep to get this business off the ground. And I realized, and it worked, like the hustle did pay off. Like the hustle, it was strategic hustle, but it was a lot of hustle. Like I was investing a lot of money. I was investing a lot of time. I was, just evolving as a person, but it was straight hustle, straight grind for like a year and a half. I was doing all the things. Like I always said, like I was diagnosed with a case of DTM. Like I was doing too much. I was selling all the things. I was just everywhere. And I hit a point where like I did achieve a really awesome level of success. Like I had the opportunity to live my dream lifestyle. I call it my great day, where I got my golden doodle dog and like I quit my job and I moved downtown Detroit and moved into this high-rise apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows. I, got into the relationship that's like a loving and healthy relationship with my boyfriend. Like I got to, the hustle paid off. Like I replaced my corporate salary, made 6 figures in 6 months. Like I did all the things that were on my vision board, but I was exhausted. Like I was exhausted. And I realized that I was in a season where that was maybe required, or it aligned with how I needed to operate. But I also realized over this past year that I can't keep operating that way. Like my season is shifting, and the beat of my song in this season is different. Like I'm learning how to find my stride versus like being in this season of like hustling and striving. And I realized that like what got me here will not get me to the next level. That hustle and the grind and doing the most and being the most for everyone. It got me to this point, but I cannot sustain it. I cannot keep operating the way I've been operating to get to the next level. And to go back to this whole balance piece, my life was like ignorantly imbalanced as I was building my business, but it worked for me in that season. And as the season is evolving and changing, as I'm evolving and changing, as my business is growing and evolving and changing, like I can't keep operating at that same frequency and that same beats. Like I have to learn a new dance. Like I have to learn a new pace. And I think the balance of this season is just, it's looking different. Like the beat and the tempo is looking different. So I just really encourage you to understand that, like, maybe you're going through a tough patch and maybe it feels really heavy and hard, but just understand it won't be like this forever. Like, understand that this may just be a season for you where, like, it is, like, God is really trying to build and grow your character. He's really trying to develop the muscles and the skill set that you're going to need. I think so many of us are like rushing for the harvest. We're like ready for the fruits of our labor. But, you know, and I'm just coming to learn that, like, the season of actually harvesting the fruit is typically a lot more difficult to manage and maintain than actually, like, growing the seed. So just honor this season that you're in and try not to rush through it, but make sure that you're moving at a pace that allows you to catch every lesson and every miracle and every blessing that God is trying to reveal to you in this season, because it's growing your character and it's building you for what you need to be able to sustain and manage whatever the next season is. So honor it, but also understand, like, you do not need to put this pressure on yourself to have this level of perfection and balance. Like, learn to embrace and I think celebrate like the fuck ups, like the missteps, the slips, the falls, the shortcomings. Like, learn to celebrate those things, because in those moments, those are the things that grow and ultimately define the success that you eventually have. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I hope that resonated with somebody, or at least something in that midst of that chat resonated with you for where you're at right now. But I just really invite you to just be patient with whatever season that you're in. Understand the season that you're in. Find the rhythm that you need to operate at for your season, even if it means that it's not perfectly balanced. Just honor whatever that season is for you, and understand, like, and start to be able to pay attention to when those seasons shift, to when your rhythm needs to shift, and just honor that as you continue to grow. Okay. So if you want to hang out and learn more about where you can hang out with me and our community of Hawk Hustlers, we are a group of coaches, consultants, and freelancers. And if you're interested in learning how to sell your signature service and really build a service-based business that will get you to 6 figures and beyond, I invite you to join us. We have an awesome Facebook group of just some amazing human beings. You can just click the link above or below to request access to join. Just make sure to answer those 3 quick, like, prompt questions. You'll get a notification from us to be able to answer those questions. And once you answer those questions, once or twice a week, we accept people into the group. So I look forward to seeing you guys in there. Again, I just invite you to just honor the season that you're in and just find your rhythm for this season that you're in. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.